up, you guys?
Hey guys.
Excited to have you here at Fit Body.
Glad to be here. My name is Jordan Lewis, so I'm here with Orangetheory, and we have Master Nutritionist Christina Jordan here.
Excited to be here. So you get Jordan and Jordan. You get the duet here. I am really excited to be here because this is your first segment of your challenge that you're running for Orangetheory,
Yeah.
which I tagged them, you guys. So if you want to check them out, definitely check them out. And I'm excited to have you come to the clinic. What do you think of the place?
Oh, it's nice. It's beautiful. Beautiful place.
Thank you.
We're glad to be here and to talk to you and to pick your brain. You know, I think the hardest thing of starting out in a weight loss challenge or trying to get healthier is that first week. So
Absolutely.
I would love for you to
Absolutely.
be able to give us some tips on the first week on how to be able to make it a good start, and so that we can be successful in the future.
Awesome. I'd love to. Well, you know, you just jump in anytime.
Right.
If you have something you want to add it. So to give you guys a little background on me, I'm a board certified Master Nutritionist, and I'm a top 10 nutritionist in America. I started my journey a lot like you watching right now, like all of us. I started my journey not just overweight, I was clinically obese. I was 271 pounds, and I found myself as a mom of little kids, overweight. Well, technically it's really fun being given the diagnosis of clinically obese, and I had no energy, I had no confidence. And I want you to know, I didn't start out as a nutritionist. I was a magazine editor. I had no idea about nutrition or taking care of myself. In my early 20s, I found out I had type 2 diabetes. And that was such a blow. That was such a horrible thing to find out, because here I am, this young mom, I'm overweight. I knew I was overweight, but I knew something was wrong, and I felt it, but I hadn't gone to my doctor to confirm it.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you guys not just as a nutritionist, but as a woman who has been there. I've lost over 130 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I lost over almost 20 sizes. I've gone down, and I completely transformed my life. And the best part is I'm no longer type 2 diabetic. I've reversed it completely, and I also reversed several other issues, including a thyroid condition, autoimmune conditions, Hashimoto's, and all of this really goes hand in hand with the food you eat. And so food is powerful. Food has the ability to heal your body or to kill your body. Food is an incredible asset, and if you combine that with your healthy workouts, with your healthy lifestyle, you're going to see incredible transformations, right?
Love it.
And so I truly believe you can't outrun a bad diet. You can't.
That's true.
You can't. And I know this because we've all done it, where we've been working out 5-6 hours a week. We're doing everything we should be, but then we're going home and having French fries and pizza because we're starving, right? Or we're starving ourselves all week long, where we don't eat anything all day, and then we eat a whole bunch in the evening. Or, you know, maybe we eliminate entire food groups and we think that's the answer, or we fast for, you know, days at a time. Let me tell you, Jordan, I've done a fast before in my past, because when I started my journey, like I said, I wasn't a nutritionist then. I just was an overweight mom who needed to make a change, and I didn't know what to do, so I did what most do, and I went on a diet.
Yeah.
I went on all kinds of diets. I've done everything. I've done Medifast, OptiFast, Atkins, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. Oh my gosh, I've done the cabin soup diet, the grapefruit diet. I've done the 500 calorie diet. I've done the let's not eat anything for 3 days diet, and we called it cleansing. You guys, I've done it. And I will tell you, the only thing I saw change was I was more tired, my hair started falling out, my skin looked like it was aging faster than it should be, I was grumpy, I was moody, and I would maybe lose 10 pounds and then gain 15. So I'd gain it right back because I wasn't making really healthy lifestyle changes. So today, we're not going to teach you a diet. We're not going to talk about a diet. We're not even going to name a diet. In fact, if you want to know how I feel about diets, I think they suck. They suck. In fact, I have a whole program called Ditch the Diet. You shouldn't have to weigh your food. You shouldn't have to count your calories. You shouldn't have to stress about your food, and you shouldn't have to eliminate entire food groups. So I'll just open it up right there and say, yes, I like fruit. People want to know all the time, is fruit evil? Is fruit bad? And I'm going to tell you right now, because you may not watch the rest of this film, it's okay. You can keep your fruit. And so I'm going to just give you a few basic principles. We're going to go over 5, in fact, of basic principles with nutrition that if you were to come see me, you would be paying hundreds of dollars to sit down and get your own custom plan. I have people that fly in from California, New York, Miami, Canada, all over the country, all over the world who come to see me because they want real help. And they're done with diets, they're done with being put on prescription pills that make their heart feel like it's gonna pop out of their chest. And we're gonna do this an organic, healthy, natural way.
Awesome.
And this is the coolest part. You can do this, I can do this, you can do this, your kids can do this, your parents can do this, your best friends can do this. Literally, this is not a diet that is unhealthy or scary or can harm you. This is a way of eating that is life-giving. It'll add years to your life. It'll balance out your hormones, because honestly, hormone therapy is the #1 thing that I specialize in here. I do metabolic hormone therapy because I see that people in our day and age, we're starving our hormones. And so a lot of people are exercising, sort of. They're eating healthy, sort of. But all this sort of living is causing a major hormone imbalance in our country.
A lot of this.
Yes, a lot of ups and downs where you might be fine today and you're a hot mess tomorrow and you can't get out of bed. And so that's a whole nother subject. We'll dig into that maybe later in this in the future. But literally, eating is not just about weight loss. You're not doing this just to look cute in a bikini. You're doing this so that you're able to feel good in your body, to have energy, to run after your kids, to be able to lift something heavy or jump up on something high. And the foods that you're eating will literally affect the way you perform, the way you feel. They even affect your hormones and sex drive. They affect everything. So let's start.
Okay.
All right. So if you have your phone out, take notes on your phone. If you're old school like me and you like to write it down, write it down. #1 is ditch the diet and eat more, not less. Eating more, by eating more frequently, you're actually giving your body adequate nutrition all throughout your day. When you go, and if it were just about calorie counting, then technically you could eat 1 slice of pizza and lose the weight. But I've done it, you guys. I've done it to where I have starved myself all day and then I eat 1 meal and yet I'm gaining weight like crazy. Because when you do that for long enough, your body kicks on a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol tells your body there's a crisis. Maybe you're in starvation. It doesn't understand what's going on. It doesn't understand you're busy in board meetings or you're chasing kids around or doing carpool or whatever. It just thinks there's a problem. There's not enough food. He or she is limiting her food intake, and I'm going to protect her. So whatever's going on, your body's thinking, I'm going to protect you so you can live. So what happens is your body starts to store fat rapidly, and particularly where you store fat when you're high cortisol is in the middle section, because that's where your organs are, and your body is literally going to keep nutrients there. So when the starvation point happens, like the fasting, the famine, the war, whatever it thinks is going on, it has nutrients right there, and you have glands right there that it can access it. So the signs that you might be in high cortisol are, can I point to you?
Sure.
Okay, storing fat under the chin area. So right here, if you're storing fat here or under the underarms, under the underarms, in your stomach area, in your belly area, and in your hips and thigh area. And the reason why you store there is, like I said, you have glands here, 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 and you have glands all around this area to where your body, when the famine or the starvation it thinks is coming, the apocalypse is coming, you'll be ready. Good news is, if the second ice age comes, you will outlive all the other skinny girls, okay? You'll live. That's good. Your body is a fighter. You're a warrior. But right now, we don't want it to store fat, and it's stressing us out more. So whenever I have patients that come in and they are storing fat in those reserve zones, we call them crisis zones, you want to make sure you eat more, not less, okay? So ditch the diet, stop counting the calories, and we'll get into the basis of what you should be eating. But right now, I don't want you to fear eating anymore. food is good. Food is your friend. Food is fuel. I'm sure you agree.
Absolutely. You know, one of the hardest things that people do when they think of getting in shape, doing a diet, is most people, what they want to do is they want to work out, and then think 1 to 2 meals just whenever they're hungry.
That's it.
You know, get as much as they can and then not. What I love, and we talked about this earlier, is getting people in a mindset of healthy portion size, tracking, knowing what they're putting into their body, and then they'll know what to change.
Be very mindful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, tracking that I think is huge, because sometimes, like me, when I'm in a hurry and I gotta go, and let's say I go get some McDonald's, something like that, do something bad, I know. But when people do that, because there is times that they're gonna be out and they're gonna make bad decisions, knowing, and for me, when I started looking at how much calories and some of the garbage I was putting in my body,
garbage, you guys.
It's changed the way of what I wanted to put in my body after I saw, you know, how bad it was for me.
Right.
So
You're opening your eyes. An ostrich, they say that when they see a predator coming, they stick their head in a hole or in the sand. They hide. They think if I don't see it, it's not there. The lion's not going to get me. But that's not the case. It's just you just made it easier for the lion to get you. And so if there's an issue in your life, if you know that you're dealing with food addiction, I used food to calm my nerves. I used food to celebrate. I used food to lessen stress. I mean, it was my go-to. It was the best friend that I needed at that moment, I thought. But really it was destroying my body. And so you have to, I like what you said, you have to be mindful. You have to see it, which takes us to tip 2. And that is, you have to be mindful. You have to, I suggest doing a food journal. Like I always give patients some sort of little mini log. Even, we have phones. Remember, I told you I'm old school. I love pen and paper, but we have amazing technologies. Which app do you use?
MyFitnessPal.
MyFitnessPal. So you can put it on your phone. You can be old school and carry it in a notebook. And again, just I think you have to open your eyes and see what you're actually eating. And this is really cool because it's such a good exercise. You can see, oh my gosh, my boss was rude to me today, and then I immediately hit Chick-fil-A. Right? I'm using it as a stress reliever. And so you really have to open your eyes and go, am I eating food for fuel and for life, or am I using it as sort of a pacifier of my problems, of my issues, of greater, deeper things that really need addressed? And honestly, for me, in my journey, I was totally doing that. And once I saw that, I didn't like that. I was done being bossed around by a freaking cookie. I'm like, I'm done.
I've been the same way. I wanted that control back.
Yes.
So that I felt like I was making the decisions going forward.
Absolutely.
Not food was making that for me.
Absolutely. And really, I want you to ask yourself, and we could pull in a little kindergartner. We could bring a kindergartner in here right now and hold an apple out or a bag of Cheetos and ask that little 5-year-old and say, what is better for your body? And they'll know instinctively. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. You don't need a magic app, a calorie counter, a macro counter. You don't need a nutritionist to slap those Cheetos out of your hand. You know the Cheetos are bad. You know the chips are bad. You know there's a difference between real food and fake food, which takes me to tip number 3. You are what you eat. So don't be fast, cheap, and easy, okay? You need to be real. You need to be organic. You need to be raw. You need to be a whole person. And if you're going to be that kind of a person, a whole, real, healthy, alive person, you need whole, real, alive food. So when shopping for food, please don't call Jordan and show him a candy bar and be like, it's organic, it's organic. Don't call him and ask him if that's okay. Don't call me and say, can I have organic marshmallows? They're totally organic. No, I don't care. They're not life-giving food. I want you getting back to getting real. Just get real with your food. So when you're choosing your foods, did it grow in the ground? Did it grow on a tree? Did it swim in the sea or eat grass? Was it alive or is it alive? And when you're choosing food, yes, I am a fan of organic, but I'm a fan of whole food, real food, living food. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
So you're better off throwing a peach in your gym bag with some almonds, some raw almonds, and a hard-boiled egg than you are trying to buy that $7 protein bar. Does that make sense? Like, because the closer you eat to its natural source, to nature, the less enzymes your stomach has to use to break it down. So the less breaking down in your stomach part that's happening, it means you'll absorb the nutrients easier. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So the more real and raw it is, the more, and again, I like raw, I like a lot, and I'm not vegan, by the way. A lot of people ask, are you vegan? No, I'm not. I love meat. I love animals, but I also love to eat them. But I'm not vegan, but I'm not against it. Yeah. And we have patients that come in, they're on all kinds of eating and dietary restrictions. I have a couple of patients that are allergic to animal protein, completely.
It happens a lot.
It is. Yeah. It is. And there's a reason, you guys, which we're getting into this next tip. You have to choose organic, free range, grass-fed whenever possible. If it doesn't say it, it's not it. Not in our country.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
It's very sad that we have to pay extra to get non-poisoned food, but we do.
Mass production, that's what it's about. Mm-hmm.
It's true. So I suggest going for real food and finding a place you like to shop that's like a grocer's market or a farmer's market. If you're really awesome, you can even try growing it yourself. I've tried it, I suck. But I do have friends that do it and they love it and they're so good at it. It's like their little gift. So really, you want to try and eat food it's fresh. So the longer the apple has been plucked from the tree, the more dead it is. So the longer it's been off the source of life, like its roots or branches, the more it loses phytonutrients, which means phytonutrients have the ability to rebuild cells, cellular damage, fight cancer, free radicals, and then also certain foods that you're eating, like for example, raw organic blueberries, they have the power to heal your gut. Like literally, the skin of the blueberry will create like a bandage in your gut if you're having ulcers or inflamed intestinal issues. And so really going raw, and I dare you to find a chip that would do that or a protein bar that could do that. I don't know one. And that's why when people come in and they want me to recommend a bar or a shake, I kind of am, I'm like, well, I understand there's emergencies, but I want you to try and eat. Let's eat, let's prepare. You know, and like you said, which takes us to tip 4, you had said it, people get busy.
Yeah.
Right? What do we got to do?
You have to prepare. I love that you talk about being prepared, because that is the number one thing that people will wait and they'll say, I'm going to do this tomorrow.
Don't wait till you're starving.
And it never comes, right? Yep. We always, we live in a society where it's quick. We want to be able to have things at our fingertips.
I know.
And it's hard to prepare for the week and do that up front. But anybody, and I've done hundreds of these challenges, anybody that is prepared for the week and know what they're going to do, when they're going to work out, everything organized in their life.
And I love that you guys do scheduled workouts, because then it doesn't let you wiggle out of it and be like, and you know what, that's so sad, because so many of us, we will hold all our important meetings with everybody else except ourselves.
Absolutely.
We'll honor the kids' teacher, our boss, our employees, our customers, everybody else, but yet we bail on ourselves. And that's why I love that you schedule them. And your food has to be the same way. You have to prep it. You have to plan and prepare it. I do, and I'm a horrible cook. I'm a nutritionist who sucks at cooking. I do. But I have to do it. I have to prepare, and it saves you so much money.
Absolutely.
Tons of money. And honestly, there's no excuses, you guys. You can throw some apple slices in your bag, put a little cinnamon on it, squeeze a little lemon so they don't go brown. You can throw a peach in there. You can throw in, just pick some fruit you like, and then, just do something, anything. Slice up some veggies.
How many times a day would you recommend eating it?
And this is, good job. I'm like, you took us right into our last tip. So this is going to be your foundation for how to eat. If you were to, like I said, if you were to come in to see me, and you wanted to learn more about how should I be eating, number 1 is you should be eating 5 to 6 times a day. And what that looks like is a breakfast, a snack, a lunch, another snack, dinner, and an optional evening snack. And by the way, on days that I do train and I do work out, I always have that evening snack. I'm starving. So, and it's really not about eating, counting your calories or quantity, it's about the quality of the food. So now that you know what you should, how many times a day, which is 5 to 6, right? Minimum 5, because studies show, it shows that if you go just 4 hours without eating, you're considered clinically insane with your next food choice. So you could be doing so good, just like you said, they leave the house, they have good intentions, your heart is pure, right on, high five, you started the day good. But then you go to work and you get busy and oh crap, I forgot my lunch, and now my neighbor next to me, she's going to get, burgers and fries, and I'm starving, and I know I was supposed to have a salad, but man, I'm starving, and now you're out of control. And that's because chemically you become what's called clinically insane with your next food choice, because your blood sugar drops and it sends these emergency spikes to refuel. And usually you refuel with something that's high in carbohydrates, high in sugar, and high in fat.
What I love about that is it reminds me of the Snicker commercial.
Yes, yes, and you do. Hanger is real. Oh, I get so hangry. Yes, hanger is super real because it's your blood sugar falling and dropping. And so so now you know you're eating 5 to 6 times a day. Here's what you need to eat with your food. You need to have a healthy, lean protein source, a clean protein. You need a complex carbohydrate source, which a complex carbohydrate source would be something like raw fruit, vegetables, salads. Get a good complex carbohydrate source. And by the way, men actually have to have, definitely, like men who are going no carbs, you know how a lot of people are going no carb right now. It's actually horrible for your testosterone. Yeah. So if you guys who are watching, if you want to put on muscle, burn fat, and still have a sex drive and like motivation for life, because that's what testosterone does, you must have good complex carbs, hands down. You need it. You can't skip it. And then lastly, you need to have a healthy fat. Healthy fat, so for those of you watching who are maybe dealing with mood disorders, anxiety, depression, low energy, mood swings, all of that is tied to low healthy fat consumption. You need your avocados, you need your coconut oil, you need that. Cook with avocado oil, it's all amazing for you. So the 3 things in every meal should have a protein source, a complex carbohydrate, and a healthy fat. So it's 5 to 6 on 3. So think 6 and 3. 6 meals a day and include the 3 things, which is, you're going to list them? Protein,
yep.
Complex, carbs, healthy fat. That's right. Now, when it comes to how much, everybody's different. So hold up your hand, dude. So his hand compared to my hand. So we'll show him. Okay, I got a big hand. But what's great about it is you can use your hand to measure. So let's talk about, well, how much should I be eating? Okay, so let's start with what's your favorite protein source? Are you fish?
I love
red meat?
chicken.
Chicken?
Yeah, I love
okay,
chicken.
So this is chicken. Your hand size. That's how much chicken is a serving of chicken. Okay? Now red meat, it's the palm of your hand. So this is your red meat. Now here's a little disclaimer on red meat. I don't personally eat red meat very often, and that is because red meat takes 3 days minimum to digest in the gut.
Right.
So you can have your amazing steak dinner. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's so good. But you're going to pay for it for 3 days.
Yeah.
What that means is what your body could be using to burn fat cells, heal cells, fight cancer, free radicals, keep the flu away. Instead, it's busy trying to break down this chunk of meat. So I suggest red meat no more once a week max, maybe just a few times a month, because it does take longer to digest and break down. We just don't have the enzymes. Yeah. And so red meat is your palm, chicken is your whole entire open hand. My favorite is seafood. I'm a mermaid diet girl. I love mermaid.
Yeah.
2. You get
Really?
2.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of
That's a
fish,
lot.
a lot of shrimp.
Huh.
Scallops, lobster, it's expensive though, darn it. But literally, and the only fish I will definitely say you must avoid, because it's just straight up garbage, is tilapia,
Yeah.
shark, and swordfish. Don't touch those 3. They're really high in mercury. Tilapia is actually a genetically modified fish, believe it or not. It's engineered by man in a lab to be really fast reproducing. So what happens though is because their cells are mutating so fast, they're filled with cancer cells.
Oh, wow.
So we do, and mold, both we don't want, which cancer is tied to mold as well. So we don't want to touch tilapia ever. Instead, salmon, sea bass, red snapper, cod, yeah, you have so many other options. Anything but those 3, which are tilapia, swordfish, and shark. And shark just because they'll eat garbage.
Yeah.
And so again, whatever you eat, you're going to eat whatever they ate. So if they're eating garbage, you're eating garbage. Which takes me to another protein source that I suggest you eliminate or avoid or make sure you know where it's sourced from, and that is pork. The reason, I know, I get that look a lot. They're all, bacon! Don't get me wrong, I love bacon. But if you're going to do bacon, you want to make sure and do a heritage bacon. It's the, it's you can find it at places like Sprouts or higher end grocery chains, because this heritage bacon it's from pork that hasn't been given a bunch of toxic foods. And here's why. Because pigs, they don't have sweat glands. Sweat glands is where we flush out our toxins. So what happens is their flesh accumulates all these toxins, and whenever we eat it, we take in all those toxins. And we see it because a lot of people who eat pork will have swelling, joint pain, headaches. They'll even get anxiety. They'll get migraines, and I see it oftentimes after pork consumption. So you really want to be careful with pork. If you are going to do pork, you got to do high quality. I'm talking the $12 for one package of bacon, high quality.
Oh, wow.
It has to, yeah. And so,
I didn't know that.
yeah, you got to be super careful with pig. So I personally just kind of skip it. Once in a while I'll have bacon, and it's a super treat, and it's wonderful. But oftentimes I'll even going heritage, I'll notice that autoimmune issues will pop up, which are the swelling, bloating, headaches, itchy, rashy skin, eczema, psoriasis. You tend to see that. And so a lot of people also ask me about gluten. And gluten is one of the big 5 of autoimmune triggers. Autoimmunity is where your body, and there's over 150 different autoimmune diseases and growing. This includes celiacs, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, osteo. You have also food allergies, IBS, even they're saying anxiety, depression, ADHD, mood disorders. It's all tied to this autoimmune, which, by the way, autoimmune comes from being poisoned by our food. That's where it's from. Our food, we have more autoimmune issues now, starting with little kids to all ages, and it's because our food is different. In the 80s, GMOs were released into our public. Before the 80s, when we were little kids, we were okay. We could get away with eating a little bit bad. Now our kids have to be so diligent as parents. I mean, you have a little one too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do. I have 3 boys. You have?
So I have a little girl, and then I have some older ones in high school. I have some high schoolers and mid-ages. So I have from older 18 all the way
to little
down
babies.
to a year. Yeah.
And we have to be so diligent.
Yeah.
Because GMOs, genetically modified food, it doesn't break down in our body the way it should. It doesn't. In fact, they've done studies where they'll actually show a corn ear that's GMO corn versus, and it's huge. They're way bigger. We do it for many different reasons, and then they'll show a traditional farm-grown corn, and the animals, even the bugs, won't touch the GMO corn because they can sense that it's toxic, it's poison. But then we're feeding it to our kids, and we're calling it healthy, and it's not. And so autoimmunity, which we should do another segment on autoimmune, because it's a whole nother ballgame. But when you're choosing your food, try to go organic, try to be as clean as possible. Now so we covered your protein sources. On your fruit, your serving size is what can fit in your hand, okay? So you can fit 5 to 6 strawberries in there, a handful of blueberries, an apple, a peach, whatever fits in your hand, that's your fruit serving size. For vegetables, it's actually 2. Yeah, so you can totally load up on those veggies. Yeah, and honestly, if my patients were to say, I really wanted 6 handfuls of spinach, and I said, go for it. Yeah, I don't really limit you on that. And fat is actually the size of your thumb. So that is your fat serving, except for avocado. Thank goodness, because we love our avocado. It's half of an avocado per serving. And yes, you can have up to a whole avocado every day.
It messes with people when we say fats, knowing good fats.
Good fats.
People will tell me all the time, no, Jordan, I don't want to do the fats.
Fats are good. So you're hearing it from the mouth of the nutritionist. Fats will not make you fat. Sugar will. Sugar will make you fat. And really what we saw back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, where we were on this fat-free craze, this fat-free trend. Doctors were recommending it, and during that time, diabetes spiked by over 500%. Never before in history have diabetes been so prominent anywhere in the world as it has in the last 3 decades. And then now we're finally learning, it's finally being released that fat might not be the problem, but sugar. Yeah. Sugar is the problem. So you can have fat. You can have it. It's awesome. Just don't go crazy and eat, bacon rolls and butter sticks on me, because we all know that that's not healthy, right? Go back to you when you were 5 years old. If your mom said, Jordan, what's better for you? Would you like to eat this butter stick for lunch or this apple for your snack? What's a better snack? Y'all, I hope you say apple. Please, it's apple. So you can still have healthy fats, just with your fats. I definitely suggest you go grass-fed butter. If you're going to cook with oil, do not cook on high heat with olive oil. After 500 degrees, it becomes like arsenic. It will poison you. So if you're going to cook on high heat, like you want a pan-sear something, then go avocado oil or coconut oil. But use your olive oil for like your dressings or your marinades, but don't cook on high heat with it. It's toxic after 500 degrees. So
no deep fried chicken.
No, but you can have barbecue chicken, grilled chicken. You can, you can bake it. You can pan-sear it.
There you go.
There's those Instapots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're awesome too. You can do those. You could air fry it.
Yeah.
There's so many other options.
I love it.
Because you're a chicken guy, right?
I love
You like chicken. Okay. So again, just be careful with the chicken.
And I've learned I can have a little bit more than I've been having.
Oh, so there you go. High five on the chicken. There you go. And with chicken, be careful. Make sure that you're going a higher quality chicken. I'm sure you are. But just make sure it is higher quality, because out of our, we've had a good revival in how we treat our cattle here in the United States, which is good. A lot more pressure on cattle ranchers and whatnot to go grass-fed, but chicken's still behind the curve. So people are still giving our chickens growth hormones. They're still pumping them with antibiotics, and what they're getting, we're getting. So make sure and go with like a free-range chicken. Again, there's so many options now.
It's a lot more expensive, but it tastes better.
It does taste better. It does taste better. And eggs. Oh my gosh, we cannot forget about eggs. Eggs are your best friend for weight loss and for just health in general. People were so afraid of eggs for so long during the fat-free craze. And yeah, the full egg, somebody just asked, full egg, you guys, because actually it's in the yolk where you get the lecithin and theanine. They're natural fat burners, and they will actually push out bad cholesterol. Yes, eggs have cholesterol, but it's a good kind of cholesterol that will actually cleanse your body of the bad cholesterol. So one of the best breakfasts you can do is egg-based. Whether it's an omelet or scrambled or sunny side up or make egg muffins or...
People talked about that forever. I'm like, not the whole egg. Cut that back, so that's awesome.
Yeah, you can have the whole egg. In fact, I'm boring. I have the same breakfast every day for the last decade, and I'm not kidding. Literally, same breakfast. I had it this morning. I have 2 eggs, and I do the Happy. I actually like the brand called Happy Eggs. They're beautiful, and if you crack them open, you'll think you're having a duck egg because it's so bright orange. And the brighter the orange, the yolk, the more nutrients is in that yolk. So if you're opening an egg and you're all, I got a deal, it was 99 cents, and you open it up and it looks almost white, that literally means it has no nutrients at all.
Oh, wow.
So you want to go, the more orange and deeper the egg, the healthier it is. Awesome. And so you can have egg. In fact, I suggest when in doubt, it's a late night, instead of hitting McDonald's, make an omelet. So anything else you want to add? Because I think we're probably at our time.
No, I think that was great. Tips that you have. This is your passion. The reason why I wanted to talk to you is I know you're passionate about this and helping people get healthy. You've been able to do that for yourself and a lot of people around you. So the tips that you have, I know that everyone's going to take at least one thing.
Take at least one thing. And you don't have to like everything I said. I challenge you. Go study for yourself. That's what I did. And that's how I became a nutritionist, just because I couldn't depend on someone else to fix me. I had to go figure out what was wrong with me. And so if you are interested, I do have an amazing, totally online, it's called Nutrition Academy. It's a 7-course online academy where you actually get certified under me in nutrition. And it takes you through hours, at least 7 hours of the nutrition foundation, and that's barely scratching the surface. Like this is just level 1. I'll be launching level 2, level 3, and level 4 where you'll actually become a nutritional coach. Yeah, it's really awesome. And again, this is good for us to all know. To feed ourselves, to feed our kids, to feed our family, and to, you know, help others.
Yeah, that's one hard thing, and I'll add, is when you add in kids, when you have kids and responsibility,
Yes.
and you just give them things because it's quick, you know,
Right.
listening to you talk of understanding that they're going to be here for a while and making sure that the
Right.
body that they have, that we're putting the right stuff in their
Right.
systems so that we can extend that period of time to be as healthy as we can control.
And we don't want our kids suffering from all these autoimmune issues and diseases that are out there. And they do, there's more and more popping up on the daily. It's crazy. Autoimmune diseases, and then that's one thing I specialize in here, is that I have a whole autoimmune program. My entire eating plan is autoimmune friendly. So it's really important that if you are seeing these symptoms, which are weight gain or extreme weight loss, you're losing your eyebrows, you're losing your eyelashes, you're losing your hair, your nails are just falling off, that's a sign of malnourishment. If you're exhausted, if you're tired, if you're fatigued, if you have fertility issues, or if you have PCOS, that's hugely autoimmune related, meaning the food you're eating is causing your body to give you these horrible symptoms. Diabetes, high blood pressure, all of these things, rheumatoid arthritis, unexplained swelling and pain. You see, when your body can't break down foods, it releases it. It makes tears in your gut and then releases it into your body. And all of a sudden, you're swelling and you have all this pain and you can't figure out why.
Yeah.
And it's oftentimes autoimmune related, meaning if you cut out certain trigger foods, which is gluten, sugar, GMOs, lactose, and even beans can cause it too. They make rips in the gut. And when you have these things, if we can cut out some of these triggers and see what's really causing it, you'll see an incredible breakthrough in your health. Because it's not about getting you skinny, you guys, it's about getting you healthy.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you for everything that you've added value-wise.
Thank you.
This was
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming to the clinic.
It's a beautiful clinic. This was a great experience. I know that you connected with some people out here that now they're going to go back and rethink their plan.
Yes.
Think about what they want. You know, I'll talk to the challengers for a second. This is all about your happiness. If you think about, take away everything else, you know, the challenges that we have, the awards, the things that you can win, none of that stuff really matters.
Right.
The win is going to be getting healthy, looking in the mirror and knowing that you put a plan together and you did your very best to apply and to take care of yourself. And you will always, always be happy that you spent the time to be able to do it. Nobody's ever came to me before and said, Jordan, I am so mad you got me healthier and feeling better in my own skin.
No, you'll never regret it. And you'll never regret putting time into yourself. And you'll regret not doing it sooner. Like me, I regret not getting healthy sooner. I wish I would have started earlier. You know, but I started when I started and never looked back. Never regret that. And it is a wonderful thing. And if you guys do need one-on-one help, you want to come to the nutrition clinic, we're actually going to give all your participants a $100 scholarship to come here. Yes.
Amazing.
And yes, we will get you guys the code. And it'll be $100 to come here and start our program. And if you want to learn more, go to my website. Look at the food ideas. I have tons of blogs.
Awesome.
I blog every single day, recipes, nutrition tips, even foods to increase romance, and I mean there's so many things out there. Go to my website, it's fitbodyweightloss.com, or call my clinic anytime. It's 844-537-2408, and also don't forget to follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. Gosh, we're on everything, and it's Fit Body Weight Loss. Fit Body Weight Loss. So
awesome.
yes.
Well, thank you. I
Thank you, sir.
appreciate your time. Go get it, guys. Get to work. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Be positive. Put a smile on your face. It can be fake. It might catch on. All right. Have a great day.
Bye, you guys. Okay, on his, you might want to hit save. That's okay. It's tricky.